Okay guys, we're now moving to the front end and we will update the notifications from our app. Okay, if we've already viewed the notification, want to update this, or when we tap a notification, want to hide it or ignore it forever. These are the changes which we're going to implement. We're going to do our Xcode, the notifications VC, to our function which is load notifications. Okay, so for the load notifications here, after the notifications are loaded, here we will execute send helper, open and close round bracket, then here send HTTP request, or if you want we can run this function inside of the load notifications. Okay, let's do it inside of the load notifications. We're going to load notifications right after we update our table view, so it won't affect our front end and user interface. So it means if we'll put it before reload table, so then all the cells will be white when it loaded even the first time. So we want with the next load here after table view is reloaded and everything is over. Okay, here we need to declare a new URL. Let URL equals to, then in the quotation marks we will write our valid URL. That is the one in my case. So then we have a let body equals to quotation marks. That is my body. Make sure that you did not include your string, this question mark. So by user ID it will be 0 because this is not really important. User ID will be 0. Type we can write any. Action will be update. ID, this is important, and viewed we want to cast it as yes. Okay, so we need now to access the ID of the notification. So here we'll write for notification in notifications open and close curly brackets. This block of code we can insert in these curly brackets. Okay, so then as the ID, that is the value, we'll replace in my case 1 left slash open and close round brackets. So in the round brackets we'll insert notification, then square brackets we'll write here ID. Okay, so URL will be our URL, then the body will be our body, and the as successful we don't need anything, open and close curly brackets, and here open and close curly brackets. Okay, here we are updating notifications for updating status of every notification. Okay, very good. So we can now build and run this. By the way, this send HTTP request function is very handy. Rather than rewriting this entire block of code, we can just execute our manual. Okay, here we go. And now it should get updated in the notifications. Okay, it's not. So we will have to check why. We'll cast it as string like that. As exclamation mark string to force downcasted. Okay, let me check now. This is what we'll associate to the empty variable. And here let me print our body. Okay, here we'll replace rather than force down casting it, we'll just write question mark, which will make it optional, and we'll have to check the notifications, which we need to print out notifications. And yes, guys, it must be ID, by the way. It should be ID. yes, the thing is that, guys, we are not throwing back the ID of the notification. So we're going back to our um, PHP file, especially uh, baxs.php. Here we need to also throw back our ID of the notification. So the first we will throw back select notifications ID. Now it will throw back the ID and everything must work well now, because we're not selecting the ID at all. Now we have here ID, and let's check here. And here is optional. Now we need to force downcast it, guys. So this was the issue. This is how, guys, we can debug the code. This is how we can check everything. So here it's showing optional. It should not be optional, because the string will be passed to the server as optional so and so. Okay, now it's fine. Checking notifications, all of them got updated. Very good, guys, that is amazing. And when we will load one more time, when we'll load one more time, it will show now as white. Very good, guys, that is amazing. Okay, so this is what we wanted. That's really superb. So copy this code and we will insert it for the load more. After here, when we cast it is no more loading, then we will do this stuff in the background queue. Okay, very good. So the next stuff which we want to do is when we tap on the cell and we want to, let's say, hide notification or ignore it. Okay, so for first of all, I'd like here to make one identifier, which is a disclosure button. So I'm going to make report, select your cell. Here, accessory, select something like disclosure indicator. So then we are coming to our notifications VC. And here right at the bottom, I'll write one more function, which is did select row at index path. Okay, so in this function we will try to show the alert. Okay, so, action, I'm sorry. So here I'll write let action equals to UI alert controller, open the round bracket, select the method with the title and message. Title will be nil. Message will be nil as well. Preferred style will be .action sheet. Okay, I'll just rename it to the sheet. Okay, then we will declare we needed two buttons. First one will be hide button. Let hide equals to UI alert action. Open the round bracket. Select the title. Hide style will be a default style. Handler, here we will have to use the handler, which will hide the notification. Okay, and then we'll have a button which is cancel. UI alert action. Open the round bracket. Select title. Cancel style will be cancel as well. Then the handler will be nil. Okay, excellent. After that, I want to assign this button sheet, add actions, first hide button, then we want to add cancel. Excellent. So then we want to present this action sheet, present sheet animated true completion nil. Okay, so this is, guys, what we want to do actually. Here we are declaring action sheet. Here we are declaring hide button. Here we are declaring cancel button. Here we are adding buttons to the action sheet. Here we are showing the action sheet. Okay, I'm going back here. I'll press any of the buttons so it looks really awesome. So here we have a hide and here there are disclosure identifiers. Okay, that is cool, guys. That is really cool. And then we will have to when we tap on this, we'll have to execute the hide method. Okay, whenever we execute hide method, there are two things which we want to do. First of all, we want to remove this cell, and the second, we want to send a notifications to our backend that no more show this cell. If you remember how we remove the cells from the ID, we have done it many times, and this is actually the example of this when we do it the same for the comments, but here we're gonna write it again. Okay, so what I would prefer to do, guys, I would like here to create separate action where it's a show action sheet, open and close round brackets and open curly brackets, and let's insert this stuff in this action sheet, or we can name it show sheet. Okay, here the parameter I will use index path of type index path. Okay, then I will call this show sheet in the did select road index path, and as a reference I will use this index path. Okay, brilliant. So here what we would like to do is here when the hide this handler, whatever is inside will happen when we click hide button. First of all, the step one, we want to clear array, clean up array from the element. So this is actually must. So how many arrays do we have here? We have 1 and 2 arrays. So here we'll write notifications self.notifications.remove at index path dot row. So then we have self notifications underscore ava dot remove at index path dot row. So that is the first one, and the second one we want to update the table view. So clean up array from the element. It means remove element, which means notification from the I could say a skeleton. Actually, it's a skeleton, which means basis, which is in the background, the skeleton, which is in the background. And then the second one will be remove the cell itself. Okay, so here we will write table view dot begin updates, then table view dot delete rows at index path. In the square brackets we'll declare index path. With the animation, you can use it any animation you want. In my case it is automatic. My animation, it is automatic. Okay, so after that, guys, we need to finish our update. Here we'll write table view dot end updates. Okay, excellent. Now here we're calling this action sheet. So this function executed when cell got tapped. Great. Here we are calling action sheet. This function shows action sheet for the notifications. Okay, let's try it, guys, now. Okay, we're now coming back and we will copy this block of code when we update the notification, and we will insert it in this hide but at the beginning. Why we'll insert it at the beginning? Because if we will insert this right after when we delete the row, the main information which are stored in the arrays will be deleted here. So we will be unable to access here the right ID of the user. Okay, here instead of notification ID we need to access self.notifications, then open and close square brackets, index path row, cast it as ID. Okay, here update the status viewed status in the server. Okay, so here we're doing for notification in notifications. It means it will access every single notification and it will do for every single loaded notification. Here we're going with a little different way. Here we are directly accessing a certain notification at certain index. Here also in the square brackets must be ID, guys, don't forget. So here we're directly going to certain notification at certain index and we are directly accessing its ID. Okay, these are my notifications. Let's say I got a Jennifer Lawrence. I tap on the cell, I click hide. Very good. So now I update here. 22 here must be shown as hide, as ignore. Okay. The thing is that we didn't change here viewed to ignore. View to ignore. Okay. And now the status of the notification will change to ignore, and all notifications which are marked as ignore will never be shown anymore. Okay, I'm going to notifications. I'm tapping on the Jennifer Lawrence. Hide, so we'll remove her. And here it comes ignore. Excellent. The same we're doing, let's say, with a Daniel Craig. Tap on the cell, hide, ignore. Daniel Craig has ID 3, so he's now ignore as well. Then that is really amazing, guys. Then we're going back to our access.php. We're going to the function select notifications, and here we will write one more conditional here where notifications user ID equals to ID, any ID of the current user, and notifications dot viewed is not equals to ignore. Okay, let's now build our application because it should not show us ignore anymore. Let's save our backend. Here we go. So is no more showing. So ignore, put it in the single quotation marks. Here we go. So it's no more going to show us all ignored notifications. So that is really amazing, guys. This is how we can implement the same notifications logic which Facebook is using. So that is really superb, guys. My congratulations to you. Well done. Amazing job.